Press the bell icon on YouTube and don't miss another update.
Earlier this month, the Prime Minister Narendra Modi-led government at the centre increased fines for traffic violations by almost 10 times. Soon enough, some states, including BJP-ruled Gujarat, moved to try and dilute these fines. Now, in Government Matters today, let's try and understand the rationale behind these steep fines and the power tussle between the centre and the state, as well as the dynamics as far as the dilution is concerned. Maushmi Das Gupta, who tracks the Road Transport and Highways Ministries headed by Nitin Gadkari, is with us in the studio today. Maushmi, so the government passed the Motor Vehicles Amendment Act, which was implemented earlier this month, which increased fines by a significant amount for traffic violations. Soon enough, some states wanted to dilute them, have diluted them. Can you tell us what has happened since this was implemented?
So Ruhi, as you know, the Parliament cleared the Motor Vehicle Amendment Act in July, and after the presidential assent, the act came into force. But the Road Transport Ministry notified the rules related to the violation, traffic violation from September 1. Right. It will take some more time for the other rules to be notified, but as of now, all the rules related to the traffic violations have been notified. So, the traffic violation fines, like you said, are quite steep, up to 10 times
of the original amount, of the earlier amount.
For instance, if you are caught driving drunk, I mean, you have to cough up to rupees 10,000 rupees, which is quite high. Right. So, what happened was that Gujarat, on September 11, they announced that they will be reducing the fines for the traffic violation by up to 90%. So, and I mean, they went ahead and did it. So, the new traffic violation fines, the reduced traffic violation fines in Gujarat will come into force from September 16. And soon after, many other states have joined the bandwagon. Even states like Karnataka, states like Bihar, Chandigarh, which had notified the rules, now they are saying that they are going to have a rethink and they will also go for the reduced fine. Gujarat, in fact, the Gujarat Chief Minister said that they are reducing the fines on humanitarian ground because, you know, it's too steep a fine. So,
right. So, well, interestingly, Gujarat, Karnataka, Bihar, all of them are states where the BJP is in power. So clearly there is a certain tussle that is happening as far as the federal boundaries, federal relations are concerned. But Maushmi, before we get to that, if you can just tell us, you said that fines for drunken driving now are up to 10,000 rupees. Can you just give us a breakup of the other fines and how much they've increased by?
So, some of the other fines, Ruhi, for instance, for jumping red light, the fine is now rupees 1,000. For talking on the mobile phone, you will have to cough up rupees 5,000. So, which is quite high compared to what was the case earlier.
Right. So, which is why perhaps states, because of the kind of backlash this is receiving from public, are now diluting the move. Now, just explain to me how this works as far as the constitutional and legal aspect of it is concerned. What are the powers under which the states can go and dilute what the centre has passed?
So, motor vehicle law, Ruhi, is another concurrent list. So, both the centre and the state can frame rules under the motor vehicle law. But what has happened here is that the centre has come out with a motor vehicle act which was approved by the parliament. The states have the power to reduce fines under certain categories. For instance, for compoundable offence where you pay fine on the spot. Right. So, for that there are 24 categories of compoundable offence under the Motor Vehicle Act. For that, states can reduce the fine if they want. They can't increase it beyond the central benchmark that has been set, but they can reduce the fine. But for non-compoundable offence, those are like more serious offence, like, you know, juvenile driving, drunken driving.
For which you have to go to the court.
Yeah, so you will have to go to the court. So, there, I mean, the states can't reduce the fines that has been fixed by the centre. So, this is a bit of a grey area right now. So, in fact, the Road Ministry has written to the Law Ministry seeking its advice whether, you know, states can go ahead and reduce fines after the Central Act has been notified under one or the other category.
Now, you mentioned that the states can't increase the fine beyond what the centre has prescribed, but is there a minimum limit to which they can lower it?
No, again, in the Motor Vehicle Act, the minimum amount has also been specified. So if we say, if the law says that for drunken driving you will have to pay a fine of up to 10,000 rupees. So the states can't go beyond that. But again, drunken driving is a compoundable offence. So anyway, I mean, you will have to go to the court, and states can't, under the law, they can't reduce fines for compoundable offence.
Right. Now, Moushami, it seems to me, and the rationale for increasing the fines for traffic violations was to increase and enhance road safety. It seems to me that by reducing it, and the logic that states are putting across, that people can't really afford it, they're too steep. But isn't that contradictory? I mean, why should people commit traffic violations and offences in the first place? It's not about whether you can afford the fine, it's about just doing it in the first place. Or is it a question of harassment by traffic police as well, and whether it can be misused? So where is that debate going?
I think this harassment factor plays a very minimal role in this. The whole idea of, bringing in an amendment to the motor vehicle law was because the fines in the old law had become really dated. I mean, for jumping red light, the fine was ₹100. Right. So, it was not proving to be a deterrence. And the number of road accident death in India is one of the highest in the world. I mean, you have over 1.45 lakh road accident deaths every year, right, which is quite a steep number. Right. So, in fact, this motor vehicle, the amendments to the motor vehicle law was under works for a while now. I mean, it started somewhere in 2011-12, but it was only after the NDA government came in and Mr. Gadkari was made the Union Road Transport Minister that it really got a big push. And in fact, Mr. Gadkari and the ministry did figure in this fact that there will be opposition from the states who would say that this is encroaching on federal federal rights also. So in fact, the ministry had constituted a group of state transport ministers way back in 2016, which was headed by the then Rajasthan Transport Minister Yunus Khan. And the whole idea was that, and it had members, it had the state transport ministers from other states also, who were part of the committee. And the whole idea was that, hey, we are going to these states, we are taking the state transport ministers on board, and it was only after the state transport ministers, that committee gave its recommendation, that the final bill was drafted, and it was taken to the cabinet and from there to the parliament. Right. So now, the road transport ministry was saying that, it's not that we did not consult the states, we did consult the states, but now, after the law has come into effect, some of the rules have been notified. Now going back on it, is only populism. You are only,
Right, giving in to people's
demands.
Yeah,
and also ahead of elections in some states, right, like in Maharashtra. Even Maharashtra is saying that, they want to reconsider and they want to cut some of the fines, slash some of the fines.
Right. Now, Moushami, as you mentioned, this is a move that got a big push in the NDA government under Mr. Modi. In fact, Mr. Gadkari has taken it up as a pet project. He's constantly maintained how this would help make our roads safer. What is the centre going to do now if state after state just dilutes it? Is there anything that the centre can do legally?
Well, right now, like I told you, that the road ministry has written to the law ministry seeking its view. But I don't see centre per se doing much under the law because, because it falls under the concurrent list. So states can states can reduce fines, states can make certain changes in the law. But then, like I said, there is a grey area that where all states can reduce fines and the areas where they can't reduce fines. So that is where the centre wants the law ministry's, suggestions, their views on it. So.
Right. Well, whether stricter penalties, stricter fines will make India's roads safer, that is a debate that rages on. But at this point, what has happened is that the centre has hiked fines to a great extent and several states are now stepping in to try and dilute it. Populism is what Moushami believes to a certain extent, but this, as she mentioned, is a grey area and will have to be looked into. Thank you for watching Government Matters. Subscribe to our YouTube channel for much more and have a good weekend.